And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate program. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals. Buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. We were recently featured again in Florida Realtor magazine. The May 2020 issue did a nice spread talking about the marketing, talking about our branding and the creative ways that we promote our team right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. But it's up to you to engage. We would love to talk to you. Reach out to our hotline at 813-670-7372. That's our Consumer Advocate hotline.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Give us a call on the hotline. We love it when it blings and rings. 813-670-7372. You can call or text that line. Also, check out our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. We want to help you win, and we help our sellers by getting maximum exposure for our real estate properties right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show for our sellers here in Tampa Bay. Here's a great example, 19206 US 19 in Clearwater. This is a car lot. It's a large lot as well. We've got acreage on 19 and a beautiful opportunity to own a freestanding building. It's currently leased by a reputable auto dealership with many locations throughout the Southeast, while serving as an investment property with great return on investment. And the property's listed over $1 million. Great opportunity to own US 19 right here in Tampa Bay in Clearwater, 19206 US Highway 19. Right here in Tampa Bay. And 2689 Sable Springs Circle, unit number 105. This is a ground floor condo. You've got water views, and you've got views on three sides of the condo. You know how some of the condos are just a box. It's like a straight through. You got one view. This one, you actually have three, and it's a great opportunity to own for less than $120,000. 2689 Sable Springs Circle, unit 105, right here in beautiful Clearwater, Florida. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. All right, so we got a great lineup for you today. Coming up, we've got Larry Harbolt. He is a real estate educator and author. Also, Real Deal Podcast with Larry Harbolt is his podcast. He's been doing a lot of webinars, a lot of Zoom trainings, online trainings as well, so kind of adapting to this COVID-19 economy that we're in right now. And I was talking with Larry about some of the things that he's talking about. He's teaching unique and innovative ways to structure deals. Not every seller wants to have cash and get paid off quickly. Some sellers are looking for opportunities to make payment, receive an annuity, like a payments over time. We're talking about trust, how to buy and structure real estate properties in a trust, and getting unique and creative ways to market and find deals as well. So we're going to talk with Larry Harbolt, and he's going to be here on the show. Also, Ash Leyva returning to the show. He's one of our bilingual real estate agents on our team at the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. Ash brings a plethora of knowledge in the world of foreclosure, REO, those types of deals. We're going to talk about development deals, how you put real estate development deals together. And also, we're going to go over the market stats right here. We're going to talk about Pinellas County. Low inventory market in Pinellas County with only 4,873 residential property listings as of the end of April. And you had 1,445 closings, sold properties. That equals a 29.7% absorption rate in Pinellas County. Talk about the residential listings in Pinellas County. And 3.37 months supply. So it's a strong seller's market. So we're going to talk about how that impacts the real estate market right here in Tampa Bay, what it means for buyers, what it means for sellers and investors, but also what it means for that move-up buyer. Great opportunities here in Tampa Bay. great time to be in the market. Reach out to Diane Vance, get Fairway Independent Mortgage a call, talk to her about getting pre-approved, find out what you can qualify for, investor loan programs. We've got all kinds of great programs as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we would love to connect with you. So when we come back, we're going to jump into it with Larry Harbolt. He's a real estate educator, podcaster, charges thousands of dollars for his educations and trainings over the years, 40 years in the business. So great content coming up. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, and link up on LinkedIn. We can link up on LinkedIn as well. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams on Facebook as well. We'll be right back after the short message. Don't go anywhere. ConsumerQB.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask me about
Yes.
to be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back. Right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
Is #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. This segment is brought to you by Two Maids and a Mop, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Two Maids and a Mop. Support your local business owners. Tabitha and her team, they do a great job right here in Tampa Bay. based out of Clearwater, 2 maids and a mop, Clearwater location. Give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Safe, reliable, professional grade cleaning from 2 maids and a mop. Say hello to Tabitha and her team over at 2 Maids and a Mop right here in Tampa Bay. All right, so we're back here in studio. Larry Harbolt welcomes us. We're welcoming you back into the studio, that is. Welcome back, sir.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. Real Deal podcast by Larry Harbolt, hosted by Larry Harbolt, also an educator and a teacher. And a lot of it is kind of the alternative methods, things that people don't really know about real estate. A lot of times when people think about real estate, they ask questions. They don't really know what question to ask, especially when it comes to investing. So what are some of those questions that people don't really even know to ask, right?
Most of the people that want to become investors. Now, I'm an investor.
Right.
And what I teach is investing. But you got to know a little bit more than all I got to do is buy it at a reasonable price, get a bank loan, fix it up and sell it and make money. That is not truly what an investor does. You have to know a lot of different things about it. But the problem, most people don't ask the right questions because simply they listen to some traveling guru that comes through at their local real estate club, and he tells them one little niche that they can just go make tons of money with, right, which is not true.
Yeah.
It works if you've got everything else in place. So there's so many missing pieces. So I teach from start to finish. I teach a 9-step plan from finding properties others aren't looking at all the way to making offers and getting to the closing table. But there are individual steps that everybody needs to go through, but they need to know what those steps are. So that's what I teach in my trainings. And I've got students nationwide. Actually, I've got students from other countries have come and taken my training. So it's stuff that works.
Right.
It's just not the normal conventional way of thinking.
And a lot of it is mindset as well. When it comes to being a business owner, an investor, a podcaster, radio show host, it comes down to mindset. And we got a motivational quote of the week here. Thomas Jefferson says, "Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude." How much does mindset come into play with your world, Larry?
Oh, it's extremely important. It's important because there are risks involved. But when you understand what those risks are,
mm-hmm,
and you limit those risks, it's one of the reasons most people don't want to own rental property.
Right.
Because all they think about is somebody's going to trash their property.
Yep.
They're not going to pay. They can't evict them. Well, none of that is totally accurate. Will it happen? Absolutely. Once in a while. But that's why you screen your tenants.
That's right.
But too many people have the wrong idea. And so they go through their life not grasping opportunities because they don't know anything about what they think is going to be wrong with this stuff. And they've never taken a chance to learn how to eliminate a lot of those risks.
That's a lot of it is if, I've heard it said by, I think it was like Bill Gates or something. He said, if you're born poor, then that's you can't help that. That's your family's fault. That's where you were at. But if you stay poor, then that is your fault,
That's
especially
right.
in America where we're living. Yes, I know we've got this Chinese virus thing circulating, which is really just a bad flu bug, really. And we're overreacting to it, in my opinion. When you look at the mindset, the attitude, what people can control, and the power of focus, just like you just mentioned, if they're going to focus on the tenants, toilets, and termites with an investment property, then that's what is going to expand in their mind.
Right.
If they're going to focus on the profits, the appreciation over the years, the tax incentives, all the different opportunities, then that changes the mindset and that changes the game.
Well, I have seen on television where these traveling gurus come through,
Yep.
and they show pictures of opulence. They show wealth, expensive cars, ships, boats. Well, that doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly.
You start, like I've always said, nobody come out of the womb running a 4-minute mile.
Mm-hmm.
You crawl, then you stand up, you walk, then you learn how to run, and then you practice.
That's right.
So doing anything in life is the same way. I've been doing the real estate now for over 40 years.
Wow. Very cool.
And when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. I just had a determination. I was going to succeed.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
now I teach nationally. I buy and sell houses. I'd rather buy and hold and rent properties because that's what gives me the lifestyle that I talked about. These people that watch those infomercials are looking for.
Exactly.
But it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But now I teach, don't do what I did.
That's right.
Do it this way.
Because every failure is, hey, that's the wrong way to do it. Thomas Edison, the famous, he had 1,000 different ways not to do it. And then he figured out that one way. And a lot of it, too, when it comes to growing a career, growing business success, is the drivers. What's driving you, right? The why behind it. So, yes, you want to make your parents proud. You want to make coaches proud. But there's also those people that kind of wrong you in your beginning of your career. When you're younger, you're in your 20s and maybe even early 30s, and people that took advantage of you, took advantage of me, for example. And I know those people drive me too, because I want to continue to excel. I want to continue to put distance between my achievements and their achievements to prove to them that temporary setback that they forced on me by taking advantage of my kindness at the time is not going to keep me back. It's not going to hold me down. And that drives, I want to say that almost drives me more than making someone proud of me. You know what I mean?
Well, sure. And those people that do those, beautiful infomercials.
Yeah.
Most of them charge an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
And most of the students that I know that go through those programs are not satisfied.
Right.
But they suck you in. Some of these programs are $30,000 or $40,000 to be part of their inner circle. Well, that inner circle, the only way it would work is if the moon and the stars aligned perfectly.
Yeah.
Now, is there some knowledge in there? Yeah. But for $40,000, I've got a couple friends that live here in St. Petersburg.
Right.
They're in their 80s.
Yep.
They bought into one of these $40,000 coaching programs because they wanted the end of their life to be, more prosperous and enjoy life.
Yep.
Well, 3 or 4 years after they bought into that, they had to file bankruptcy.
Oh, wow.
At 80 years old. And they're clawing their way back now. It was horrible, but
yeah,
they were promised stuff that never came true.
It's right on the line of, by the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Larry Harbolt, real estate teacher, author, podcaster. Check him out at larryharbolt.com. But Larry, it's right along the lines of scammers and with our show, Consumer Quarterback Tips. Here's a quarterback tip for the week. Spammers love to create emails that mimic ones from your bank or credit card issuer. How can you be safe? Never use a click here to log in link. Always go directly to the website address for your bank or credit card provider and log in there. So it's kind of like the spammers out there in that business as well. These, these crooks that are looking to take advantage of people. They're preying on people that, and they're selling these false potential, income gains.
Well, they give information, but the thing is, when I first started taking trainings, the guy told me that, he makes it so easy that he ought to just write the check, the profit check. Well, I found out I'd spent thousands of dollars taking his trainings, and I'd go home. I still couldn't pull the trigger because there was always something missing.
Right.
And then I'd have to take the next $5,000 training, and then the next. And I figured out, could you do what these people talk about? Yes, but think about it this way. They have all of the people that it takes to do that in place. The accountant, the attorney, the real estate agent, all of those people they have in place.
Right.
And when you're coming into this business green and you don't have those people, it's going to be virtually impossible to replicate what they're saying.
Great point.
That you can do.
Yeah. Right on, because those are your advisors. You're going to lean on the CPA to say, hey, is this a 1031 exchange opportunity? How do I structure that? You're going to lean on the attorney to say, hey, maybe I want to buy this in a trust. Should I structure this into a trust? And I know you teach classes specifically on how to do and utilize those types of instruments in those trusts.
Correct. But if you're going to teach, excuse me, I believe you should teach something that gives value to the customer,
Right on.
not just want their credit card.
Exactly.
Do I want to get paid for what I do? Absolutely.
Right.
I'm a capitalist,
That's right.
but I want to give a fair product for the money I receive.
Right. Exactly. The value's there. And if you deal with Larry Harbolt over the years, a lot of people have, he's got great reviews. People know him, like him, trust him. And when it comes to education, let's talk about, you mentioned you've been doing a lot of webinars, a lot of Zoom.
Yeah.
Man, what an interesting chain of events over these last 2 or 3 months, how more and more businesses are going to remote learning, remote teaching, training, running their homes, businesses from their homes, having salespeople open or work from home. How do you see that affecting real estate, residential, commercial, and therein? How do you see that trend potentially playing out here over the next 6 to 18 months?
Well, just my own opinion. I've always been the one that traveled around the country to real estate clubs and taught there. And when I do a training, I can't get the same effect out of doing it on my computer screen because I do a lot of drawings.
Right.
I do a lot of explanation because I'm a detail person.
Yes.
And so I want to be able to do that. And, you sitting in front of that computer is totally different than being able to walk around and do examples and talk to people. And, it's different. Now, is it going to be good? It's probably going to work, but I like the personal effect.
Yeah.
The way I teach.
Yeah, I agree. It's because you lose that the body language. You
Right.
lose that. Think about the attorneys. We've had some of our attorneys on the show say they had to do jury trial, or they're looking at potentially doing jury trial cases via Skype and Zoom type conference calls. And I know there's that popular case where the person got caught on their cell phone or doing something on the side. It's very difficult for a human being to be brought in and to give the same attention that they would in person versus a webinar.
Right. Well, last week I did an all-day training. And by the time I got done sitting in front of that computer, my back hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Couldn't hardly stand it. But you sit there, you smile, and I took 3.5 hours of questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if they don't ask questions, they don't learn. And if you don't answer their questions, you've wasted their time.
That's right. Yep. We're talking with Larry Harbolt here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Our goal is to help you as a consumer advocate. Of course, we're heavy into real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax planning, different types of legal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've got a host of other show partners associated as well. Anything you hear on the show today, if you'd like more information, reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372, 670-7372, or check out Consumer Advocate Hotline at consumerqv.com, the website rather, consumerqv.com. So Real Deal Podcast, you talk a lot about investing, real estate investing.
Yes.
What's a good tip for someone out there? I know me personally, I would love to get into some apartment complexes, something along those lines. What would be a good tip or starting point for someone like that?
Well, if you're going to get started in the business, don't go for the $1 million deals. If you're going to get started, like I said, you can't run a 4-minute mile,
right,
when you've never taken a step. I've got to find properties where I see value add. In other words, I want to buy properties that I can fix up, buy them at a lower price, fix them up to build in a profit.
Yeah.
But you can't pay top dollar. That's what homeowners do. They find a property they love, they pay top dollar for it, then they put more money into fixing it the way they want it.
Yes.
Investors can't do that. We've got to buy it below market, fix it up, and still leave a room in there, a margin of a profit. Or why would we do the business? We're in it to make money.
Yeah.
Instead of working at a factory, we buy and sell houses.
How would you analyze this property? 1410 North Betty Lane. I'm going to have Rob put that up on screen for us. 1410 North Betty Lane. It's a car wash that we've got listed in Clearwater. It's a 3-bay car wash in Clearwater. Corner lot. You've got the pictures there on the screen if you can see that, Larry. So 3-bay car wash. You've got the owner says he puts about 2 hours a week into the actual collecting of, picking up trash, etc. He has a full service cleaning company, or a company that comes in and handles the landscape. So you own the land, so you're going to get appreciation over time. And then any interest in car washes or anyone that in your network, how would you analyze a property like this?
Well, number one, it's got to be totally based on the income.
Yes.
Because it's wonderful to own a piece of property, but if it doesn't make any money, how do you pay for it?
Right.
And leverage, to me, is much better. I would much rather borrow or pay the seller every month,
right,
than go and stick my neck out and put all my cash into the deal.
Yeah.
But simply, the income is going to be critical. Now, how do you know the income? I know this. I'm not talking about this individual property, but do you realize there are sellers that will lie?
Right. Yep. Got to be careful.
And I bought a convenience store once in Michigan.
Yeah.
And I asked for a certified copy of the books on the property before I bought it.
Yeah.
It was for my wife. So I got a copy from their CPA. Well, I don't know what convenience store those numbers belong to, but it wasn't the one I bought.
Oh, wow.
And so that made a big difference. So now, if I was going to buy that, with a little bit of research, I would ask to see tax returns for the last several years.
Right.
To get a better idea what the income is, which it's a cash business.
And you can also, cash business as well. That's a big part. So, it's read between the lines. And then also you can ask for a 4506T form directly. That's going to allow you to pull directly from the IRS to see directly from their side. So that way there's no fudging of the books when it comes from the owner to the potential prospective buyer.
Right. And I would check what the traffic count is.
Yeah, check the traffic count as well.
Because if it's somewhere where there's no traffic, you probably have limited business.
That's right. All right. Well, hey, always a pleasure, Larry. Appreciate you coming in. Check out LarryHarbolt.com. Check out his podcast, Real Deal Podcast with Larry Harbolt. And, of course, links to all of our expert contributors on our website at consumerqb.com. Coming up, we've got Ash Leyva. He is a bilingual real estate agent on the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And more from our expert contributors here, and our feel-good story of the day. Hikers found alive after 19 days in the wilderness. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate a top team here in Tampa Bay. I'm a certified negotiation expert. She is an expert and certified in feng shui, interior design, does energy healing as well, home clearings, all kinds of cool stuff with her feng shui of Tampa Bay business. But yeah, the goal here is to help you win in any marketplace, as you know, as a consumer advocate on air for 7 years now, helping you understand more about your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, we promote our real estate listings. So if anyone's out there wants to get maximum exposure for your real estate properties, anything that you want to sell, any assets that you want to sell, we actually have a very unique and innovative process that no other real estate company offers, where we feature our properties live on air to thousands of listeners just like you right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, plus all the extra marketing, the traditional marketing that other real estate companies offer. So it's in addition to 520 George Street South in Tarpon Springs, right on Lake Tarpon. Beautiful property. I tell you, we live on a lake now, and that lake life, the ability to throw parties and celebrations at the lake is just an awesome time. 520 George Street South, Tarpon Springs. $499 is the asking price. You've got a private boat dock right on, and you've got open water views. Like, you look out, and it's not a canal. Sometimes you're on a canal, you got a neighbor in the backyard. That's nice, but this is an open water view right here on Lake Tarpon. $499. Open house going on this weekend as well. Check out our listing at 520 George Street South, Tarpon Springs. And also commercial. We do commercial real estate as well. 19206 US Highway 19 in Clearwater. This is a car lot currently operating as a car lot. It's got an opportunity to be changed, of course, to whatever type of business you'd like it. 19206 US 19 in Clearwater. It's a car wash or a car lot that's on the corner. We have a car wash also, but this one is a nice, large building. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our friends at the Golf Cart Depot of Tampa Bay. Golf Cart Depot, test drive today. They've got some great looking vehicles. Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman. They offer pre-owned and remanufactured, and they also have the Icon electric vehicle now available as well. Check out our friends at Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to Marty. He's the owner, and the whole entire team over there. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for special offers, special incentives, just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we always like to show our Keller Williams Red, beautiful golf cart that they put together for us. And we also had it wrapped, thanks to Bob, with Image 360. We've got our Keller Williams Red, beautiful golf cart now, and we use it for personal use and also commercial use. We do door knocking. We go out in the neighborhoods. We meet a lot of the folks around our listings, and it gives us a unique advantage. All right, so we've got Ash Leyva back in studio, joining us back as well. He's a new team member, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, and he's also bilingual, which plays a big part here in the Tampa Bay area. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Thank you for having me back.
Hey, my pleasure. So, yeah, the market, let's jump right into the stats that kind of sets the tone for the market, because a lot of people, it kind of frustrates you as a realtor. Sometimes you're talking to prospects, you're talking to people, and they say, oh, we're just going to wait this whole COVID-19 thing out. And they don't really know the numbers and stats. And I'm talking about it particularly for a listing or a selling client, potentially. But let me ask you, when you look at these stats, we're going to put these stats up. So what we're talking about here is 2020 residential listings in Pinellas County. All right, April of last year, 5,849 properties available for sale, listings. This year, 4,873, almost 1,000 difference, less properties, which was already a low inventory market. And then you come down into sales. So let's look at the sales for that same month. This is residential sales, Pinellas County, April 2020, 2,188 compared to 1,445. That's 743 fewer sales, down 34%. So overall, the market, so people that say, hey, I want to wait this COVID-19 thing out, in my mind, I'm like, oh, there's no better conditions than a low inventory. The seller's market is a 3.37 month supply of seller's market right now. So it's strong seller's market. Why would they wait?
No, I agree. I completely agree. as you can see, actually, I don't know if when you break down the stats, you can see that from January until up to April, the sales have been going up.
Right.
The inventory is lower, so it has all the factors for a 2020 where we have a stable market. Needless to say, sellers need to jump back in because they've been hesitant to bring in their listings now because they're thinking, oh, people's going to give me a lower price.
Mm-hmm.
But that is incorrect because there is an overflow of buyers coming in from north to the warm south. They want to bid the winter.
Yes.
They don't want to be caught in the winter in New York or New Jersey. Needless to say, COVID, the flu, whatnot.
And even now the rioting.
So we have a confluence of circumstances that are very, very favorable for our market. And you should not wait because take advantage of the overflow of buyers because maybe come winter it's going to slow down. It usually does. But, well, actually, in some areas is the season. But the way I see it is like the season is coming earlier this year because of all these COVID scare. And, with all due reason, I mean, we have to understand that the lower the inventory is, the better it is for the buyer. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the seller has a pool of buyers to pick from. Yeah. There's going to be multiple properties on their property, multiple offers on their property, and we are seeing that. We're seeing properties that we're not getting so many offers or visits or showings a few months back or weeks back are getting multiple showings right now. Our phones don't stop.
Yeah,
so
texting,
the buyers
calling,
are out there.
There's a lot of that going on, and when the inventory is low, that's good for sellers, right? It's a challenge for buyers, so the buyers have to be even more savvy. I know you work with a lot of buyers as well. What are some of the tips that you're doing right now? Regarding working with buyers, pre-approvals, making sure you're diligent. How are you approaching that side of the transaction?
Well, being that there is so many people out looking for property, we have to make sure that you know how much you can afford. You pre-qualify with a reputable lender. We offer ourselves Keller Mortgage, and we also have an in-house mortgage company we could pre-qualify you with. So that is key. And of course, we're going to be very aggressive when we make the offer because we want to find you a good deal as well.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the mindset of sellers. Sellers are prepared for that. And there is also another thing that gives me a lot of good vibes with this market, and it is the equity situation.
Yes.
Right now, this is not the same as in 2010, 11, where people had no equity. I mean, recent studies show that 42% of the homes in the United States are paid in full. Free and clear.
Wow.
And then 58 of the homes in the United States have from, let's say, 10 to 60% equity.
Right.
So sellers are in a very different position. So we're coming in a very healthy real estate market that have to come to a halt.
Yes.
So there is opportunities on both ends.
Absolutely.
So
and it's a
we
perfect
just got
time
to go for it.
Who it's perfect for is that move up buyer. The move up buyer. Think about if they bought a home, maybe an entry level townhome a few years back, they said, hey, we got our first home under our belt. We paid $150,000 for it. Great market to sell in. Lots of competition. And you know what? My girlfriend, my boyfriend, my husband, my wife, she just got her degree. She is now a doctor. She's now a physician's assistant. She's a nurse, whatever that situation is, right? Now they want to buy a home, but they're willing to buy up and they're going to jump up into the 350, 450, 500 range. Less competition, up around $500,000. So that's what I mean when I talk about a great time for a move up buyer. And of course, when you talk about mortgage rates, we always mention Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. They've got some great rates. They're a top 5 lender in the country, and they're doing some great deals out there as well. So think about the move up buyer.
Well, and I also give you the flip side of that too. The buyer that has equity in their property, the house has a great value. They were laid off because of COVID. They were able to find a job, but it's not the same level of income. They could move quick and sell their house and use that equity to buy a lower property. Yes. And that's where we come from. Yep. And we find you the best home. I mean, there's so many. This Bay Area is so rich in all types of real estate. It almost suits every every lifestyle.
Yes.
If you like more rural, or if you like the beach life, if you like a city life, we have everything.
That's right.
So if you have equity in your property, or some equity in your property, and you see yourself, this is a good time for you to downsize, do it. Do it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But overall, it's going to be a stable 2020 price-wise, according to the experts.
Yeah, and a lot of, and by the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Leyva. He's a sales associate realtor on the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And when a lot of the different reports I've listened to, I listened to Tony Robbins' podcast, different reports, a lot of the economists are talking about kind of, they call it a Nike swoosh type recovery. So it's not going to be a slow, drug out recovery. It's going to be a quick recovery, which I think we're already seeing, especially here in Tampa Bay. I think, again, we are a leader in the country when it comes to real estate, values, jobs, infrastructure, sport. There's so many reasons why people want to buy in Tampa Bay. The absence of a state income tax. There's so many reasons why, but I definitely see it happening here. People are coming out. There's a lot of pent up demand, and people want to make deals.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, and I 100% agree with the fact that it's not going to take that long to recover, like it happened in the two previous depressions, where it took 5-7 years to recover. I believe that within 2021, we should be back to normal, because it's just the market's going to rebound really quickly, and as more therapeutics and vaccines and people gain confidence in their health, they will be going back to normal. And we're actually seeing that the actuals are falling lower than the estimates as far as unemployment. So things are moving. I think things are moving in the right direction. And in our field of real estate, we are. I think we have very exciting times for us. Florida, in particular, is going to experience sort of like a boom.
Big time.
So we're
Big
ready.
Time. Yep. And there's many reasons. COVID-19, the up north, a lot of the big cities, Philadelphia, Washington, New York, Boston, people are like, wow, there's riots going on, all this stuff. Get me down into Florida, close to the beach. There's so many different ways. Equestrian community. If you want to be an equestrian community, you go out Dade City, out East County, Hillsborough County. But I want to switch gears. I want to talk about development. So you and I have done some development deals over the years. A lot of the average realtors, they haven't really got into this type of thing. They're doing single family home stuff, townhouses. But what we look at right now, we got a pocket listing coming up, should be signed any day now. But we've already done the appraisal. We reached out to our appraisal partner, Ray Hall, and we said, hey, there's a lot of unknowns, and I want to go to the expert. So Ray came in, he brought it in about $1.8 million. It was between 1.8, 1.9. I'll see the final report soon. Now, this property, we got 5 acres in Tampa, busy intersection, corner intersection, somewhere, let's just call it Del Mabry Gun Highway area, in that kind of quadrant. But we got a great opportunity here for people that are looking for development, builders, developers out there. Now, what we're talking about, such a demand for housing. We already talked about a low inventory in the market, right? Yep. What we've got here is a opportunity to build townhouses, some type of maybe even condo type community is the highest and best use for this land. Great opportunity right now for people to dive in.
Yeah, that is a great area. I know which parcel you're talking about. I've been studying it, and the location is excellent. It is surrounded by residences, and it would be perfect for townhomes, I would say.
Yeah.
It would probably be ideal there, maybe with a little mix of commercial.
Yes.
At some level there, because that's actually in need over in that area. But it's a place where you could have a family. You could raise it would be a great startup location for many families.
That's right. Starter home.
And it's 25 minutes from the center. So
I love that idea, what you mentioned too, of you've seen these types of communities, especially I think even on Line Ball, they've got one over there where, you got your bar, you got your restaurant, you got a couple different niche business stores, but then either on top of that or right behind it, now you've got the living areas. People walk up, they enjoy the little market on the corner. You can sell, sell meats
something trendy. Yeah, no, I think that would be perfect for that parcel. And it's the right size for a developer to come in and do something great.
Just under 5 acres. So sometimes, it's if it's not big enough, it doesn't make sense. So, we'll see how it looks out. But definitely on that one, I think it's going to work. We've got a lot of vacant land available throughout the community. Developers, I think it's a great opportunity as well for developers to look at, some of our other land that we have in Pinellas County. For example, we've got 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. This is 0.82 corner lot commercial opportunity right here. Could be ideal for office, medical, retail, restaurants, goods and services. So we've got that type of opportunities for investors and developers out there as well, Ash. That one's at 400,000, just over 400,000.
Yeah, that's a great location as well. And I've been also involved with the car wash too.
Yes.
That's a very good piece of property. You own the land, you own the business.
That's right.
Yeah.
Appreciation coming
soon.
That's right. So overall, looking at the market, it seems like most people are optimistic. COVID-19 is causing some people jobs. A lot of the businesses that have closed, about 50% of those are going to stay closed and close permanently. Filing bankruptcies. We're seeing bankruptcies happen. So it's kind of a shame how, we were forced to shut down and some businesses were deemed essential. You've heard all the different arguments. If you're on social media, you can read the arguments and see it there. But challenging times, I believe they're in the rearview mirror for the most part.
I agree with you. I think people has understood that we have to take certain risks, and it's not the bubonic pest, So we have to do it. I mean, the downfall of keeping the economy stopped is probably worse than the virus itself. And people's been most people I see, it's been righteous about it. They're distancing. We know how it transmits. So just be righteous and smart about it, but we have to keep going.
Yeah, got to be diligent. Got to do what you can do, but at some point you got to get back to normalcy here, and we hope you do here in Tampa Bay. And think about our show partners, support local. Now more than ever, I think it's more of a collaborative economy. We need to work together, especially Tampa Bay businesses supporting Tampa Bay nonprofits, Tampa Bay nonprofits supporting Tampa Bay churches, and vice versa. Everybody needs to work together here in this time, and that's what we've set this show up as your consumer advocate. We want to be your super connector. We've got 80 different categories, 50 plus show partners, lots of connections that we can make for you, but it's up to you to reach out. We'd love to hear from you at 813-670-7372. Let us know what we can do for you. How can we serve you, our radio and TV show family out there with the Consumer Quarterback Show and our 80 plus categories of consumer advocate content and advice? Check out consumerqb.com as well. consumerqb.com, and also give us a call on our hotline. You can call or text 813-670-7372, and it's an off-air number, and we'll make sure we get right back to you if we happen to miss you. So, hey, another great segment here, and when we come back, more from Ash. We're going to talk. I want to get final thought from Ash, and I'm also going to talk about our feel-good story of the day. We got hikers found alive after 19 days in New Zealand wilderness. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal, and we want to help you as your consumer advocate. Also, top realtor in the area, top 1% real estate company here in Tampa Bay, helping you win buying, selling, or investing. Of course, we would love to talk to you. And we got a couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay, 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is perfect for a business owner. This is an office that is a freestanding office on Hillsborough Avenue. You've got signage on a major artery thoroughfare running throughout Tampa Bay, east-west thoroughfare, with about 40 to 50,000 vehicles driving by daily. Check out 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Also, vacant land available at 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. Now, this property at Peaceful Lane is perfect for a builder developer. You've got 8 lots, 5 of which are right on the waterfront of Bell Lake. It's a ski lake right in Land O'Lakes. Great opportunity. The owner's motivated. 8 home sites available. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And this segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. That's Replenish IV Solutions. Say hello to our friends Stephen and Lisa Gunnan, and they are the owners of Replenish IV Solutions. And we're talking about direct injection of vitamins, minerals, electrolytes right into your bloodstream. And I love going down there and visiting them either at their Gandy location in South Tampa, or if I'm up in North Tampa, I go to their Bears location. Vitamin infusion drips, the Myers cocktail, vitamins, minerals, electrolytes right into your bloodstream. Say hello to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan at Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Okay, every day we're going to tell you something good here in our feel-good story of the day. We have a good one lined up for you here today with our feel-good story of the day right here. We're going to tell you something good.
Tell me something good.
Okay, so we got these hikers that are found alive after 19 days in the wilderness. They endured 2 weeks without food. 2 missing hikers have been found alive, and they went 19 days after they set off. So Jessica O'Connor, Dion Reynolds, 23-year-olds, they were walking through a national park on May 8th, and they are expected to be gone for 6 or 7 days. But after getting lost in the fog, and they were both injured in a fall. Reynolds revealed that he realized they were walking in a loop around. He saw his own footprints in the mud. So he quote, "I told Jess we need to stop now because that's my footprint. We're very lost at this point." They decided to camp there in another couple of days. The fog, they're running low on water. They spent 13 days without food, but the saving grace was a nearby stream of water. That's what kept us alive, Reynolds said. It was a surreal experience, trying to stay positive, trying to keep hopes up. Jess and I would wake up in the morning and think, if it's not today, it's tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's the next day. And oh man, can you imagine being lost? So they finally get found here. It looks like they were a pair. They were very rugged in the patch of the helicopter, spotted the smoke and the fire, and they had rescued them yesterday, New Zealand police said. So there's our feel-good story of the day. Be careful when you go in the woods, especially if it's bad weather conditions. If that's what happens in boating too, people go out on a boat, bad weather conditions, you can kind of see the dominoes falling one after the other. So be careful when you're going out boating and hiking and camping and all that good stuff. Be careful out there. We got Ash Leyva in studio, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, and talk a little bit about being bilingual. What's the advantages there? You got some clients here in Tampa Bay that are definitely fit that bilingual status.
Well, yeah, Tampa, it's a very mixed city. We have Spanish-speaking presence for centuries here. Mm-hmm. This was one of the cradles of the cigar industry, and it was mostly Cuban and Spaniards. Then other ethnic groups joined the progress in the area. Tampa has been always a very welcoming city to immigrants, of Spanish-speaking immigrants primarily, and that's my heritage. I'm originally from Cuba, and I've been in the States for 20 years. So my Spanish is really good. Nice. And there is always a need. This is a market that that needs attention, and we're here to provide that. This is a market where folks sometimes are coming in and don't know the area, don't know their surroundings, don't know how to tell from neighborhood to neighborhood. So that's where we come from. That's what we come for. That's what we're here for. And the fact that we can bridge the two worlds.
Yes,
it's a privilege for me, and I could put it to the advantage of the consumers.
Absolutely. It's great. It's great to have that connection on our team now as well, and being able to service that clientele, because I know it's a hardworking clientele. They love real estate. They want to grow their families and invest in real estate and buy, sell, and invest in real estate. Hey, another great show. I want to thank our expert contributors, Leyva, Larry Harbolt, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community, and we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time